Alright, so I'm down here with my chickens, and they're looking more and more like turkeys now. Got a weight yesterday, and they're 7 pounds. At least some of the roosters. Hens are usually a little bit behind. Takes an extra week for them to catch up. But I've also noticed my other chicks are starting to get some weight on them. They're growing up. It's nice to see. They seem to be doing really well. The temperatures are now starting to stabilize. We're not getting any more really cold weather, so I think these tarps are going away this weekend. Get some air in here. These guys are definitely putting out the poo, but they eat so much food. So we finished my stairwell on this hill, and this is a pretty substantial hill, so this stairwell was necessary. And I got concrete in the steps. There's just a couple that I need a couple more bags of concrete to finish this off, but you can see this is pretty nice. And that pipe, we're going to cut it off even with the steps, and put another cap on there upside down so it'll be flush in the concrete. I just forgot to get that piece the other day. So this turned out pretty doggone nice. This will make it a lot better. We're already starting to kind of terrace across here. I got to come out and get my rototiller and finish digging, but this is going to be stepped down all the way down, and then I'm going to hit this whole hill with some Roundup and try to get it under control. But anyways, we're starting. I'm going to show you something over here. So these are my blackberry bushes. And they're in blooming like crazy, so we're gonna get a lot of blackberries here. I lost a couple plants along the way, so I'm gonna get some more and replace the ones that didn't make it, but I'm gonna train these to grow up onto the fence. And down below are raspberries, and then I've even got some grapes down there. I'm not sure how the grapes made it yet, but I got to get out here and start working on this backyard. But it's pretty flowers come up on these. So we've got another mama that's in the family way here. She's preparing her nesting box. I just think this is the most amazing behavior. Whoops. Look like Groucho Marx. So I got to throw a whole bunch of hay in here because, one, she's eating like crazy because she's probably going to have like 10 babies, but two, she needs a lot for her nesting box. And these are my last little babies that need to move out into the grow out pen, so I've got to make some room for them this weekend. Let me get over this way. These young ones don't know any better, and they'll end up jumping out. I've had problems with that before. Hey, mama. Hey, babies. Anyways, I started working on these. This is the north side of my house. I started working on these beds the other day, getting them weeded. And today I'm going to rake out the mulch that I've got in there and load it up with cow manure and rototill it all in. This bed I'm going to expand where it meets the sidewalk over here, so I'm going to redo these blocks and make that a much larger bed. So this is usually where I've been growing my okra. The okra, for whatever reason, just really flourish on this side of the property. Most people in the city probably never understood where Jack and the Beanstalk story came from, but I'll tell you, when you grow beans, you'll realize it's just amazing. Yesterday, I just had a few of these where I saw just the very tips of, even like right here. You see that part? That's all we saw yesterday. Now we got whole plants sticking up above the ground, leaves and everything. And that's just in one day's growth. That's just amazing to me. So when you live in the city, you don't get to experience this. You don't see life as it just flourishes, just jumps right out of the ground. It's really impressive. And this is almost like 100% propagation. I can't wait to see, because I planted these about 3 or 4 inches apart, so we'll see how many we actually don't get to come up. But it looks like almost every single one are growing, so that's great. I'm curious. Never done this before myself. To me, this is another one of the things that you need to do in the event we have a currency reset. Growing your own food is going to be something that can protect you as much as having gold and silver. You know, I've got my chickens, I've got my rabbits. In fact, I'm growing meat and eggs for chickens. And the rabbits are a fantastic protein source as well. But having a garden, I mean, like, these are my potatoes. They're all sprouting. And I've got another whole bed that I started earlier. And, you know, potatoes are fantastic. So look, all I did was cut the things up and throw them in the ground here. There's nothing fancy, and you can see how big these things are already. So if you have an area of your yard and you can live on potatoes, you can live on rice. Rice is a very inexpensive thing to go purchase right now. 50-pound bag is say $17 at Sam's Club, and it's like 500 servings. But man, if you can supplement it with a garden, you're going to actually have an actual meal. You know, rice is pretty boring to me by itself. But, you know, throw some onions in there, some garlic over there. I got several different types of beans I'm growing, green beans, and I've got cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers. Shoot, I showed you in the back blackberries, and here's strawberries. I got raspberries. I think this is important that you figure out a way to do this. So my goal this year is to double my garden, which I've already got a fairly large, sizable garden between this front area and the side that I showed you. When I do that back area, that'll double it again. It takes time to build the infrastructure so that you can raise chickens and rabbits, and even the gardens. It's a lot of time. The earlier you start, the further ahead you'll be. Prices are just going to get more and more expensive. I mean, since 2012, just putting a roof on a house, I've noticed it's gone up 20%. I've got multiple rental properties. I got one more roof I got to get done, and it's just amazing how much the materials are costing. And even labor, they have to raise labor as well. My chickens are trained when I come out here. They think I'm going to throw them some peanuts, so they're kind of begging right now. They actually get trained like dogs. It's quite interesting. All right, so I got to treat my chickens because I was out here and it's aggravating them a little bit. Let me grab some more. This has become like a little thing we do a couple times a day with them. They just think this is the best thing in the world. Still a few of them didn't get any. Let's see. There we go. Everybody should have one now. Got to make things interesting for your animals. Even the rabbits, we put blocks of woods in there and they end up pushing it around and picking it up and running around with it. It's the funniest thing. So Anyways, I need to make a little bit of cereal and get my breakfast down. And then I got to get out there and get working before it gets hot. It's amazing. It's 45 to 50 at night, and then it gets all the way up to 80 right now. So it's going to start warming up quick, and I'm trying to get all my heavy duty stuff done before it gets too hot all the time. Hey, I hope you're doing the best you can. I hope you're doing well and everybody's treating you well. God bless.